Hey, what's up? This is Matt from Bullet for My Valentine, and you're watching Storytime.
Yes, as you heard, Bullet for My Valentine is in Belgrade, Serbia for the first time. So how are you, Matt?
I'm very well, thank you.
Well, tell me, as I said, this is the first time that you have come to Serbia, and the concert has been sold out in a very short period of time. What are your expectations about tonight's concert?
I'm just looking for a good time. You know, it's the first time here, which is quite rare because obviously we've been around for a long time, so there's not many places we haven't been before. So to come here for the very first time is good, you know, it feels good, it feels exciting. Sold out show, so I'm just expecting loads of energy, loads of noise. It's lots of fun.
So has it overcome your expectations that you have so many fans here?
Yeah, you know, there's a few dates on this tour, visiting places we've never been before, you know, so it's always a little bit, I don't know, not scary, but you know, you don't know how it's going to go, you know, but so to come here and obviously get the show sold out as quick as it did was fantastic, very chuffed.
And after the concert has been sold out, we got many messages. Will it be moved to a larger place? So why did you decide to keep it in a smaller, more intimate place?
I think those decisions we leave up to our agents and the local promoters, and just trust their instinct on where they think we should be. You know, it's not really a band decision. You know, it's always great selling the place out and upgrading the venue, but then you may be a lot short of selling that place out, so then it's not going to look so good. So I don't know. I think it's better off to do somewhere like this, smash it out, and just have a really great time and a really good lasting memory, rather than maybe a half-empty venue, you know, which could happen, I guess.
Yes, but we can expect you to come again then.
Yeah.
And
well,
play in a larger place.
You know, the proof is there that obviously there's fans here that want to see us. So here we are, and yeah, hopefully we'll be back after tonight.
And now I will move to some more personal questions. So, can you tell me, when we look back in the past, what were you like as a kid and what actually drew you into music?
I was just like a regular kid. Back home, really, up to a certain age, I was just a normal kid, just playing sports with my friends, just going out. You know, pre-internet days, obviously, so it's quite unusual for a younger generation to understand that. But yeah, I discovered music when I was about 13. I just fell in love with rock and heavy metal and picked up a guitar and just kind of focused my energy and efforts on learning to play guitar and wanted to be in a band, and so I made it happen.
So, your first song on the guitar was Smells Like Teen Spirit, as I remember watching in some of your interviews. So, what has your music development looked like afterwards, and how do you feel about your place in music now?
Music development, it was always rock-based, you know. I went through stages growing up, as you do as a 14-year-old kid, you know. I was into Nirvana and Green Day, you know, the more kind of commercial, grungy punk rock kind of stuff, Pearl Jam. And then, well, my first real love was Metallica, you know, but I kind of just loved all aspects of the rock genre, really. So Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, Slayer, stuff like that, you know. That was kind of my thing, so that's how I learned to play guitar, was throw on their records, listen, and just kind of work it out slowly. So yeah, that was my vibe. And position in music today, I don't know. I think we're, you know, we've since The Poison, we've been kind of a self-sufficient band. You know, we haven't really had to do a lot of the support slots that we, you know, didn't have to do. We've done stuff because we wanted to do it with the bigger acts like Slipknot, Metallica, and stuff. But you know, we've just been very lucky that we've been a headline act pretty much globally since Screaming Fire, something like that. You know, so I don't know. I think we're still quite relevant. You know, we're still doing, you know, big world tours, selling out, you know, huge places in some territories around the world. So it's good, man. Business as usual. Just doing our thing, you know.
And is there anything that you would have changed on that route of your music
not really.
development?
No, I think everything is for a reason, you know, and everything we've done has been decisions that we've made. You know, we haven't been influenced to write an album in any certain way via management or record labels or anything. We've done everything, so even the stuff that hasn't gone so well, you know, it's on our terms, so we're quite happy with that.
Well, nice to hear that. So, how do you see the development of the band from your first EP, Bullet for My Valentine, to your latest album, Gravity?
Yeah, the band has evolved musically, but that was nearly, I think that was 2003 we started recording that. It's a long time ago now. We've grown up massively as people, as musicians. Our tastes have changed, everything has changed, our brain, everything. We're completely different people now. We still have that love of music and being in a band and stuff like that. But the evolution of the band musically has been something which I think has been very natural. And I don't think anything stands out too dramatically from the next record. It always has the DNA of Bullet in it, but we always want to make our albums different from the last one. It's something we're very conscious of, to always keep the essence and the DNA of the band in the music, try and evolve it so it keeps us interested and hopefully keeps the fans interested as well, rather than writing the same record after record. The next one we write is going to be album number 7, unbelievably. So I think if we hadn't done that, then we might not be here today. So I think a lot of bands fall into that trap of just doing the same old shit, which is fine if you want to do, but it's not something we've ever been interested in. We always want to challenge ourselves as musicians and stuff.
Yes, and The Poison was definitely one of your strongest albums. It was released in 2005, right? So, do you have yours favorite?
It's hard to pick favorite. I mean, The Poison has so many amazing memories attached to it, and what that album did for our band was set us on our journey for life now. It's been an incredible time. Look, at the time we didn't realise anything, we were just going along with it and stuff. So, but obviously The Poison is a very special record for us and our fans for multiple reasons. But I think as a piece of work and songwriting, I think Gravity is the strongest album we've ever written. I think it's the most kind of dynamic and complex lyrically and stuff, and I think it's got the catchiest melodies and the strongest concept as a song. So for me, it's my favorite.
And also, as I read, Gravity is the first and actually the only album that represents like a synthesis of your personal feelings and stuff that happened to you at that time. So, what do you feel about the album and the fact that you succeeded in transferring all the emotions into that album and making totally different from other albums?
Super proud of it. I'm super proud that we were brave enough again to do a record that was different from our last record, which Venom was a very thrashy technical metal record.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we can do that again, or we can do something different. So let's do something different and challenge ourselves. So that's what we did. I think we succeeded massively. I think the album sounds incredible. It's a lot simplistic, a lot more simple than Venom, but the sound sonically is far bigger because of that, which is something we're really looking for. And obviously, putting my personal life into that album more than ever was a challenging experience as well. But again, looking back now, I'm super proud that I did that. I think the album is super strong because of it. Some people disagree, but that's music, isn't it? It's just like I got it right from my heart, and I think it's, like I said, I think it's the best album I've ever written because of that. But everyone has their preferences and stuff, which I understand.
Well, yes, of course. And also, besides that personal part of the album, it also has some new elements, like some electronic parts.
Yeah.
So, how did you get the idea to incorporate those new things and to your music and definitely change your style in some way?
We just wanted to incorporate sounds that we can't physically do with drums, guitars and stuff, and it was something that 6 albums in we hadn't dabbled with really. There were some songs in the past which had certain string sections on and stuff like that, but we thought, why not? Because the music is so simple, it gave us a platform to layer different sounds on without it kind of clashing with anything. So we just had some fun, and we just got weird with software and got MIDI keyboards out and just tried to enjoy it and add elements we hadn't done before. As simple as that, really. And again, we haven't gone over the top. Looking back now, at the time it was like, oh my god, should we do this? We can't, that's too much, it's too much. But I think we got the balance right, in my opinion. There's nothing on there which really stands out as like, oh my god, what are these boys doing? It just helps the feeling and the vibe of the song along, like a movie soundtrack kind of thing.
Yeah. And if we take the fact that the album received positive reviews but also negative ones, can you tell me what do you plan for your music in the future? To continue that way, or other?
We haven't really started thinking about it. We started writing a couple of weeks ago, but it's far too early to tell where it's going to go. You know, it's a long journey when you make a record. You know, you have these ups and downs, and then you have doubt, and then you're like, this is it, and then a week later you hate it. So until it's out, I don't know. But obviously it's not going to be the same as Gravity, because that's not what we do. But, you know, writing albums differently from each other, it gives you that platform, and the door is open to go elsewhere, you know. So it's exciting for us now, because we know we can do something else again. You know, we're not stuck in this trap of having to write the same record a million times.
And can you tell me shortly, how does your writing process looks like when you're writing music?
There's no single way of doing it. We write on our own. We write together in the studio. We write in our houses. We'll do something in the dressing room with inspiration hits. So there's no real formula that we use. It's just whenever the moment takes us, we'll try and capture as much as possible, whenever possible. You know.
And who would you like to cooperate with besides Metallica? As I also,
Oh, there's loads. I'd like to get into loads of different kinds of genres and music production and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I'll work with anyone as long as I'm into it and they're into what I've done in the past. And I think it would be a good thing. You know, like, so I don't know. It could be anything from pop to metal. I don't care. I'm just a songwriter. You know, that's what I do. Just so happens that my band is a metal band, but I'd like to dabble in other genres with other bands at some point in my career, for sure.
And what do you enjoy the most as being a musician, and what do you hate the most regarding the fact that you are playing in one of the world's most famous bands?
I kind of love being creative. It's just like I get to do what I've always wanted to do as a job, so it's not really a job. Which is great, but then obviously the touring cycles can be very long and hard, which take me away from my family and my little boy and stuff like that. So that's definitely the shitty side of it, is kind of being away from home for massive periods of time. But again, it's kind of what you have to trade in to do what we do, as big as we do it. You know, there are sacrifices to be made. So it balances out eventually, and when I am home, we do get to have a lot of time off if we want it as well to make up for it. So it's just a balancing act of, you know, doing what you enjoy, but obviously having a life at the same time, because it can easily take over.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty intense. So.
Yeah, I believe that. And can you tell me, what do you think is your highest achievement in your career? Is there like any event or something like that?
There's been loads, if I'm honest. You know, when we achieved some of those greatest things in the earliest part of our career. So, you know, going on tour with Metallica, and we went on stage and did a song with them in Estonia in 2006, I think it was. So moments like that just blow my mind still, and especially like, what was that, 13 years ago now, something like that.
Oh,
so,
God.
Yeah, so to have, you know, a debut album out and then be doing these shows with literally the band that got us into music, and then be sharing the stage with them, playing a song with them, it's just mind-blowingly insane. So moments like that are things that I'll cherish forever. But I think for me the most important thing is the now. You know, so next album will be album number 7. By the time it comes out, it'll probably need 20 years of being Bullet by Valentine. You know, I'm still in my 30s as well, so it's kind of crazy, you know. So I'm just very happy and thankful that we're still actually being able to do what we do, because a lot of the bands that grew up with us and got that platform and did a couple of records, they're long gone, you know. They're just distant memories, but for some reason we're still here, so it's good. So I'm just really proud of that, really, that we've had a longevity of a career. Yeah, so hopefully it'll continue as long as we want to do it, you know.
Yeah, of course. And I won't bother you anymore. For the end, do you have any message to your fans in Serbia?
Yeah, just sorry for taking 15 years to come here, you know, but here we are. So if you're here at the show tonight, thank you for coming. We hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, hopefully we'll be back very soon.
Yes.
Cheers.
And I really hope we won't have to wait that long for you to come again, to see you.
Now we know that there's a vibe here, you know, it's always good for us to push to come back, you know.
Yes, well, many people grew up with your band, so...
That's awesome.
That is true, yes, that is true. Thank you, Matt. I hope you will have a lovely evening here, that you will have fun, and see you on the stage in a couple of hours. Thank you.
Absolutely. Cheers, guys.